Every time I landed multiple clients at BTNG, my content died and I had to restart from scratch. But I knew if I really wanted to build a personal brand that would outlast any client project, consistency was key. The problem? I had no time. And that's when I figured out repurposing content isn't just a hack. It's exactly what I needed to survive. So, how do you generate content for the right people in a way that's sustainable and helps you grow your business? That's a pretty big and complex question, to be honest. So I think we need to take it back to the beginning and first figure out what it is that you actually do. And maybe you're familiar with Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, the why, the how, the what. If you're not familiar with it, I would highly recommend diving into it. It'll probably take 2 or 3 minutes and you'll learn it's important to understand what is the why behind your business. Why do you do what you do? And how do you do it differently than everyone else? And at the end of the day, what you do is something we all know, right? In order to understand your audience, it's really important to know who the people actually are that you are trying to help. And you can do that by creating a persona. And I know personas have gotten a bad rap over the years. And that's why I created a couple of questions that I think are very important to answer. I'll share it with you in the description of this video. Answering these questions will give you a lot of input that can really be the foundation of your content system. And once you know who the people are that you're trying to help, all of a sudden creating content will become a lot easier. For example, you can think about different topics or categories would be that you want to create content about. For me personally, I focus about talking about business, content, marketing, AI and tools, and most importantly, how to find clients. And I think that's one of the most important topics that I actually create content about because it's one of the biggest problems my audience is facing. Once you've figured out who your target audience is, what their problems, challenges, and interests are, you're able to draft those categories. Next, I would highly recommend thinking about each category independently. If you would create like the ultimate article on each category, what topics would it cover? And to be honest, I think this is a great moment to pull in ChatGPT. Write down everything that you can share with ChatGPT about who you are, who your target audience is, their challenges, their struggles, pain points, whatever it is that you can share. Explain the topics that you want to create content about and think about what the outline would be for like the ultimate article. What would that ultimate list look like? And from there on, you can actually start breaking it down into smaller articles. And instead of articles, why not create YouTube videos like this one? The cool thing about creating YouTube videos is that you often create visual assets as well. So for example, I created this visual as an example of how a repurposing content would look. And I think these images are perfect to reuse. So think about it like this. You've already created a YouTube video. You've maybe written out the entire script, unless you're kind of winging it like I am over here. But once you have that video, you can easily break it down into multiple shorts. And there you already have maybe 3 to 5 shorts from a single YouTube video. So you've got your YouTube video, your shorts, and you can turn that script into a pretty sweet SEO article, right? I think you already have over 1,000 words. You can probably clean it up a bit for a reading article. I always like to keep my YouTube videos as naturally spoken, but perhaps for your readers, you might want to change the language here and there, or maybe throw in a couple of lists. But when you already have all the information and maybe even some research about the content that you're creating, it's not that difficult to turn a video script into an SEO article. And guess what? Even the images you created for your YouTube video, you could repurpose them for your article as well. And going from an article to maybe 2 or 3 newsletters also wouldn't be rocket science, right? Within a story that you're telling, you maybe have multiple points. For example, I could talk about the importance of consistency with creating content, or I could talk about how important it is to work as effectively as possible and to be able to repurpose content on the go. And finally, perhaps maybe something about the impact that good content could have on your business, how it could generate leads. So that would already be 3 topics within an article that I could either, well, create a short about, as we spoke about earlier, or turn into separate newsletters. So we already have a YouTube video, 3 shorts and 3 newsletters and a large SEO article. Can we take it even further? I think so. And that's how I can turn one piece of content into 20 pieces. If you want to learn more about repurposing content, I'm actually creating a course that will help you to generate 12 months of consistent content. It's still in production, but you can do an early sign up, and I'm pretty sure there will be some nice discount waiting for the people who will sign up early. So I'll leave a link in the description. If you would like to learn more about creating content, feel free to join our creative support group. It's totally free, and each month I go live and I try to answer 3 most important questions. There's a link in the comment. And check out my YouTube channel. There's a lot more valuable content about building a business, finding and keeping clients, and a lot more. Hopefully see you soon.